and this is just the way we're gonna do it. I'm just gonna cut right straight into the chase. We're gonna talk about the subject, issues that players consider, are divided about, questions players have out there, because this is player perspective. I'm Team Chris, and I fly all over the place to do this. Just
Yep.
to give you all a big intro, well, I'll get to you. I'll get to you, my special guest. But
All
before
right.
that, I wanted to show off the CVS2 Bible. That is my holy relic here, I swear by. This is the Japanese book with all the frame data and fun stuff.
I
And this
thumbed through
is,
it. I thumbed through it a couple times before. Yep.
yeah, it's been translated on the CVS2 Discord.
Yep.
Thankful for doing God's work for that. And this is the PlayStation 2 copy that I grew up with since
Awesome.
2001. I've always had this. It still has saved matches on it, and they're
Yep.
terrible.
Yep.
But yeah, so it goes back to that. I love this game. I want to do everything I can to help this game in the spotlight. Well, but enough
Mhm.
about me. I am joined here by the amazing, most decorated, one of the gods of retros, OG of Capcom vs. SNK2, the one and only Dr. B.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Team Chris, what's up?
Man, happy you could join it. I
Thank
had to
you.
bring you on for this because I was like, I know people were tagging you,
Right.
mentioning you. Dr.
Right.
B, they're talking about, and I'll be honest with you, roll cancels. We're gonna go straight into it, all right?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
My background with it was I remember watching it be complained about in IRC chat when I was in high
Right.
school. And
Right.
me and
Right.
the boys talked about it. A handful of my friends could do it. And
Hmm.
I was a C and N groove player, and I would, try to do it once in a blue moon, like hitting it like it would come out, randomly, and I was like, that's the way it was. Of
Hmm.
course, like I didn't use much Honda, Blanca, or the characters. I would say that benefit from it. In which case, like I wasn't like I know Chun Li could do like roll cancel spinning bird kick, but that that was like or roll cancel lightning legs.
Those are harder to do. You got to learn those over time.
Yeah, you do. And CVS too, like would just like take those. It was that practice, but I loved it too because it was the fighting game out there that would reward high execution,
Hmm.
understanding of technical mastery. And now with the new collection coming out, there's going to be a lot of new faces getting into the game. People will be
Hmm.
revisiting it, of course. Like old faces will be coming back, jumping right in, and
Hmm.
ready to get into the fight. And so old subjects are coming back. And
Right.
honestly, Capcom gave us a big surprise
Hmm.
when they handed out advanced versions of the collection.
Right.
Tyrant,
Yep.
good friend of mine, great commentator from the UK, now a Florida boy, also.
Mhm.
I wanted to shout him out there. He instantly goes on Twitter, does the great work, gets a record out there and says,
Oh, I
"Roll
know him. I
cancelling's
met him
removed."
before as well. He's really cool. He's really cool people.
Fantastic guy, man. And he goes on Twitter and he reports and shows that an online ranked
Hmm.
version of Capcom vs. SNK2 will not have roll canceling. And
Right.
even bigger discussion, it's the EO version of the game. After the
Right.
community, just for some context, the community has taken to the Naomi version,
Of
which has been
course.
played on Misters, played on arcade hardware, and also played on PlayStation 2s and Dreamcasts with
Hmm.
converters and everything. I mean, the community, we've made it happen.
Yeah, it's
They've
here.
made
It's
it
here.
happen. The passion for the game is unparalleled, and
Definitely.
I know it's going to be a marquee title that's going to push the Capcom Fighting Games collection. And we're
Hmm.
demanding more from Capcom and SNK in terms of more collaboration,
Hmm.
more future, possibly a CVS3. Maybe
We're
even
hoping.
some
We're hoping.
celebrities up in there, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, but we'll see down the road how that becomes. So, but they stirred the flames with the roll canceling. The roll
Right.
canceling is considered a dominant mechanic. It is
Definitely.
become a cornerstone in the
Hmm.
competitive scene of Capcom versus SNK2.
I would agree.
And you're seeing, and really it was an unintended consequence
Hmm.
of the game. And basically, what's happened is it's always been legal within the community,
Right.
and the game balance
Mhm.
has evolved from it. The grooves that are C, A, and N that have the command roll that allow you to have more power. But I want to give it to you from the perspective of an OG here who
Hmm.
has for decades been in the trenches getting role canceled by the best from all different continents, talking Europe, America, North and South, and Asia. Tell me about role canceling, Dr. B. What is it and why is it so bad, cancerous, or evil?
Um, it's I would say in its early inception, it was a kind of like crafty tool that people were using, I would say, right? To kind of get out of certain situations, to give a wow factor to everybody when someone like does a super and you do a roll cancel move through it and you beat it, and stuff like that. It was kind of cool when it first came out, I feel. But then it's like you get these players who just abuse it, and that's all they do. They don't have any regular normies or nothing. They're just always roll canceling. So then you get to a point where you're just like, this game is just roll canceling. It's not Street Fighter. It's not Fatal Fury. It's not Art of Fighting. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Last Blade. It's not Dark Stalkers. It's not all the characters that are in the game's type of mechanics that it was meant to be. Got abused by the glitch that made everyone OP, which is cool. It's pretty much, Capcom versus SNK 2 Super Saiyan. That's what it is. But what Capcom versus SNK 2 should have been is without roll cancel because then it would have just been purely the engine mechanics, the normals, and people just creatively using the tiers and the characters to win. That's just my opinion.
No, and rightfully so. I mean, a lot of people share that sentiment too. Also, the guy who pretty much I beat my ass every day in middle school and high school, Alan, let's just call him that. He got in on the discussion as well. And we had my middle school, high school rival, who pretty much
Mhm.
I learned a lot of Street Fighter from, who pretty much
Right.
was my first teacher. He
Mhm.
said, "You think if someone made a mod for CVS2 that
Mhm.
gave roll cancel properties to every move that can roll cancel, that it would
Mhm.
mess up the game? Like every ground special gets invincibility frames."
Mhm.
And that's where I want to I didn't answer the question. I was just kind of like, okay, huh. It's just something to think about. But I wanted to ask you that too. Are there mechanics or functions in other fighting games that have something like roll canceling? Would you say? Are there other examples of it in other games?
Well, yeah, I think other games kind of implement the roll cancel aspect into certain parts of the game and just in general, invincible moves that go through supers and other stuff. They kind of just figured that out and put that into the game for certain characters, certain power-ups, certain, like moments, you know what I mean, in the game. So I feel that they have those type of elements in other games for sure, where it just gives like invincible properties to moves and lets people do extended moves and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it just becomes a meta of its own. Roll canceling, this unintended glitch, built kind of the game's balance around it.
Right, it did,
And
it did.
we saw Maximilian tweet about it, and he got a lot of
Mhm.
love for that tweet. And
Right.
likewise, he's fantastic, and I love the coverage he's bringing to the game and
Mhm.
to the issue as well, mentioning that roll canceling was a necessary, viable tactic in order
Mhm.
to check and balance some of the mechanics of the game. Because
Right.
sometimes I feel that in retro games too, we do a lot of jank to fight jank. Like
Right.
we're,
That's
we're
true.
basically like sometimes we gotta break the game so the game doesn't
Mm,
get broken on us.
that's
And
true.
you and I both can know that having done Street Fighter Alpha 2, Super Street
Hmm.
Fighter 2 Turbo, there's
Right.
plenty of examples of that
Right. Right.
where it exists. And also
Mm,
like it's fun to learn that stuff too as a kid. Like I
mm,
loved being able to see some of those tactics go. So what I
mm.
want to ask you, Dr. B, is here's the question I have is
Okay, here we go.
Capcom versus SNK 2 actually balanced
Is it balanced?
with the roll
Um,
cancels in there and everything? Because like the balance exists, like there is an
right.
accepted balance. So here is this was Justin Wong's tier list. I think dated 2019.
Okay.
Um, three and pretty much. I'm assuming you like bosses so far. Most people accept bosses.
Yeah.
Um,
That's hella funny. Oh shit, he's hella funny for this one. Cheap, yeah, the high
so
potential. Depends on your skill. He's funny. This is my first time seeing this, so yeah, let me see.
oh really? So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm in other universes with my own powers and raising my power levels, so I'm not really tuned into everything like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, no, I mean this
Yeah,
is
of
pretty
course.
fair. I think this is a pretty damn good tier list. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, shout out to D44. He knows his shit. So um let's go back to that Justin Wong one. I want to see what Justin Wong talking about.
Okay, yeah. So
All
it
right.
does it doesn't say it doesn't indicate the grooves pretty much.
Yeah,
Uh
it makes a difference a little bit. Yeah, it does. Or a lot actually, but in some cases. But no, I mean you could still have a character tier list and agree to that when you know this game. So I would say he's right. S tier, you got Blanca, Bison, yep. Sag, like if you use Blanca, Bison, Sag, which is my team, is godlike. That team right there, just a problem for everyone. You got Vega in there. He's a problem in the right hands, but there's not a lot of players that have Vega in the right hands, in my opinion. There's just like a very few. Justin's one of them, though.
right.
He's one of the best that use Vega. And of course, Sakura, that's a pain in everyone's ass. You know what I'm saying? Then you have Geese, Iori. Yeah, those guys are both pretty treacherous. Cammy, definitely. I'd put Cammy up in S tier for sure.
You
Cammy
do.
goes
Okay.
in S tier. Yeah, so Justin's
And
tripping.
what groove
Justin,
with
I know you're watching this. I know you're watching this. You're tripping for not having Cammy in S tier. So you're tripping. But yes, everything else is looking right. Guile's in the A tier. Chun-Li's in there. Yep.
yeah,
This
they are
is
strong.
this
Guile's
is
strong as hell.
actually a very good tier list, Justin. Good shit, because these people are all pretty much, I would say, right. I would throw Honda down into a B tier myself. He's good, but it's just like roll cancel and shit makes him better. Sometimes
Okay.
K Honda makes him better. C and P Honda are really good as well. You don't really see a lot of N Hondas, and you don't really ever see an S Honda. Um, and then let's go to this B tier. Hamaru, yeah, I would say he's B tier. Raiden, Raiden, yeah, I don't know. In the
Raiden's
end,
got some stuff in
in the
his
right
bag
hands,
though.
he's
In the
dirty.
right
In the right
hands, he
hands,
can
he's
hurt.
dirty.
He can hurt.
In the
Yeah.
right hands, he's dirty. We got Mai, definitely. That's good. She's like, and B is mid tier, so AKA mid tier.
And I've seen Mai in the right hands too. I mean, there are
Uh,
some really good Mai's out there in this
really,
game.
Rye and stuff. Oh my God, godlike. Let's keep going. Let's see. Toto.
Toto, I love. I once
I would still put Toto in a trash tier, but he's good in the
really
right hands. No, he's good in the right hands, but I would not have him in a B tier. I would have him in a C tier. He's in the trash tier, in my opinion. You can
okay.
take you can take Toto apart. But anyways, Yama,
Yeah, and I see some people
Yama,
in trash I would bring up here, but yeah, Yamazaki. I would put
yeah,
Yamazaki in
definitely
A.
mid tier. Definitely mid
You
tier.
think Yamazaki's mid, huh? Why? Tell
Yamazaki's
me.
mid, but in the hands of someone like Boss, it's God tier because he understands the game in a different way and abuses roll cancel. So therefore, it makes
Right.
Yamazaki really good. But if you don't have that type of gameplay down, you don't stand a chance. Like you will get destroyed. In
Yeah, I
most
could see that. It would make his
right,
special moves more vulnerable. Yeah,
right.
and his mix-up game.
And then you got Eagle. Eagle's definitely mid tier. Rugal as well. Kim definitely. Terry definitely. That's good. Akuma as well. These are all good. Ryu as well. Chang. Yeah, mid tier. Yeah, there we go. Athena definitely mid. Vice. Vice can be seen as mid. I see her as the low tier. And Morgan is definitely mid tier for sure. Let's go down to
Yeah,
the bottom.
I think Asina and
Joe.
Vice, I would go low
Joe's
tier.
trash. I don't know about that. In the right hands, Joe can be good, but in overallness, yeah, Joe trash. Maki's trash, but Maki in good hands.
Maki's been getting it popular though. A lot of
Maki's
people are
good with
playing her.
people like Isumi and stuff, but not anyone
Right.
else. Let's just go. Let's be real. Let's go. Balrog, definitely. I would say yeah, he's low tier. Yeah, Rio for sure.
Yeah,
Yun
Rio
for sure.
sucks.
But Yun and Rio are good with roll cancel or K groove or like a weird mechanic that throws people off. We'll go knock. Yeah, she's low tier now. In CVS one, she was god tier. Zangief definitely like I would say low. Some consider mid because if you use a good A Zangief or a good P or K, it's a problem. Benimaru is definitely low tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dalsum's low tier. In the right hands, he's good, but there's not too many people use him in that level.
I love how fast he is though. I feel like he's faster than
Yep,
in most he is in normal games. But
right.
yeah, he
Because
just doesn't stack up.
his hop is really quick, and then his run is pretty like spinny. So it's
Right.
kind of like interesting. And then you got King, that's low tier, and of course, yeah, Yuri,
Very
definitely Kiyosuke and Dan. So that's a really solid tier list. I would say that really explains the game in a solid way, honestly. Like,
yeah, I mean, I would definitely I think Boxer and Maki in the right hands could be in B tier. I mean, I've seen them be problematic in some like in recent tournaments too. Maki's going more and more popular as well. And her some of her mix-up games, just and her aerial attack, mixing it up, especially if you can get like those high jumps, wall jumps, and combine that with short hops. What I wanted to mention here is going back to boss's tier list here. Now,
Right.
what I want to say is, what characters do you think, when you remove role canceling, they have nothing? They are nothing. That's the next question I want to have is
Okay.
where would they go where you eliminate role canceling and like go, because I'm thinking of an idea of making an EO tier list
Hmm.
because I don't think I think Psychronic made one.
Interesting. Shout out to Brett.
Um,
Brett Psychronic is one of the greatest
oh, yeah,
players. He's
I'm
one
gonna
of the
mention him
greatest
in a
fighting game
second.
players and traveling warriors I have ever met and known. He's a dear friend. So shout out to the homie Psychronic, man.
So let's actually go into the changes I have here for Capcom vs SNK 2. The two guys I was working with here, the Super Combo Wiki, and also
Mhm.
Brett, which we were just talking about, Psycho Chronic. Dude's
Right.
awesome. I last ran into him at ECT,
Hmm.
but always I've been a long time lurker of Psycho Chronic literature and his guides and what he's written here about the changes to EO. I think this is a great guide. CVS2 has always had fantastic literature. I can't talk enough about it. But yeah, let's go through some of these things. Um, mentioning. So one thing here, and this is the thing that people would say, oh, this means Dr. B's in hog heaven, is S Groove does charge much faster. Like they say, you can charge up and get possibly extra 2 to 3 seconds faster. The
That's
Super
packed.
Combo Wiki
Hmm.
mentions that it's because the opening frames of it like accelerate quicker, like the initial acceleration time for meter charge picks up.
Hmm. That's true. Yeah, and that makes, I mean, as an S groover, that makes a significant difference in getting to your level one quicker and getting
Right.
to an alpha counter or a quick level one super.
Yeah, and also like I noticed you would be the one who would use like short burst to charge with. I remember, and like
Hmm.
sometimes you'd use it as kind of a bait or so or those kind of things. Like I was kind of familiarizing with it with Street Fighter V having the V skill 2, which would
Hmm.
be one of those things where they'd get a buff or they do a certain taunt that you can't punish unless you're like already in range for it, and then
Hmm.
it would give you certain properties on your next special move. So
Yeah, I mean, it's really that deep, actually. It's called charge faking. And basically, you could charge fake people and chill out the frame of when you throw something. So they think it's at the frame time of when you usually throw it, and it's not. It actually just mixes up that timing by a little bit, right? And it builds a little bit of meter at that same time. So it's like a little bit of meter. But if you actually tap charge, you get quick inputs from that too that allow you to get to dodge and other stuff too. So there's a lot of stuff involved with like the charge and how you can use it to like bait people and stuff like that as well. And it's like a really good mechanism that really throws people off because they think that you're vulnerable when you're able to either do quick dodge or block, which is crazy.
for sure. For
Mm,
sure. So let's go into the next thing here. And this really makes P Groove. I mean, people would see that when you don't have roll canceling now, on the
mm,
surface, P Groove looks like the dominant Capcom groove because you get the parry. But P Groove also had a few caveats. If I recall, it had the slowest meter gain, and in the Naomi version, you only were able to use a level 3. And if I recall correctly, it would do less HP than a level 3 with N, C, or K, or
mm,
S. Of all the level
mm,
3s, it was the weakest.
mm,
But here, I want to introduce this ability here is it gets the super cancel, which is the ability to, if you played Street Fighter 3, you could cancel a special move into
right.
a super combo. You can't do that on the arcade perfect version of Capcom vs. SNK2, but in EO, they added that in. Plus, it's been built up so it's slightly faster to build meter, which I think is a quality of life improvement. Having dabbled a little bit in P Groove,
Hmm.
sometimes I really feel like the meter drags quite a bit, especially when I see even end groovers are able to get like multiple stocks and to get a
Hmm.
level 3 more accessible
Right,
than
right.
than even then. So what are your thoughts on this change to P groove?
I think that's actually really good because it gives more balance to the force. If you think about it, they're able to build meter a little bit more. P groove has always had a disadvantage in the game anyway. So S groove getting a couple seconds buff of a charge is not that big of a buff to the groove. I mean, it's already uphill battle using S. S is like bringing a lightsaber into a blaster fight. You know, it literally is. There's no other way to put it. Like that's pretty much what it is. It's a weapon of a more sophisticated time. It's different. It's different, you know what I mean? Like no cap because you know P needs that buff. P needs to be able to build that meter a little bit more because it's already been at such a disadvantage all these years. So I don't know why people are complaining about the changes. There's a lot of people complaining about the changes.
Oh, they're
I
just
don't
complaining
think
about
they
roll
should.
cancel. We're only talking about they've only been talking about roll cancel because
Right.
roll cancel's always been that go-to like complaint,
Abusable thing.
the
Abusable
abusable
thing.
thing, right?
Right. So can't we get back to the fighting? Let's make fighting great again. Like, come on. What's going on? I don't understand why people can't fight. You know, they want to just do the roll cancel. It's
How
like
many
it's fun to play the normals. It's fun to play like the neutral game, you know, anti-air game, the real Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, and etc. engines. This whole roll cancel just brings a whole element to the game and makes it like so it makes CVS 2 not as solid. I think that it just made it so it was like a cheaters abusing game. Like it just let's clutch on the glitch and let's not fight. Like it's about fighting. Like it's not about not fighting.
right?
That was just
I hear you. I
my
hear
opinion.
you.
That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to put down anybody else in the scene. We've been playing the same game with roll cancel all this time. So now that they finally figured out and feel that that was something that messed the game up, the developers aren't wrong. It's going to make something fun and new out of the game. We have to bring the game back and bring a new crowd of people too.
Okay, but yeah, the one thing is, and I have here what Brett wrote here. This
Mm,
is kind of the old language from updated 2006. Is that roll cancel also? They say the statement is that it adds depth to the game when both players use it. Arguments exist to this day in many bulletin boards websites, from my experience, IRC chat also,
mm,
and tournaments are still being run without this glitch being banned. And
right,
EO proved that it was an unintentional feature. And when
right.
I explained this to one of my friends who's a PC gamer that doesn't play fighting games, he's
Mm,
like, the developers did not intend for this move. And
right.
therefore, if it didn't intend for that move, then they're within their own rights to remove it